Today we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest social media business mistakes that people make and how to avoid them. And we're going to give you some really good tips today. If you haven't met me before, my name is Dawn Larson and I'm a marketing and advertising specialist. I help businesses grow their business from where they are now to where they want to be. And we do that by helping business owners increase their profile, their leads, and their sales. So today we've got some great tips for you. While we're going on, if you think this is a value to some of your friends or co-workers, please, tag and share with them in the comment section so that they can get some value from this as well. So I just wanted to say hi to Brian and to Dave and to Susan for watching today. Thanks for joining us. And so we're going to get into some of this great content right now. So, I get a lot, I'm connected with a lot of you on social media. So every day I see your business posts and your personal posts. And so I just wanted to reach out today and give you some tips so that you can really optimize your social media. So again, social media and all of our social media profiles are meant to be a tool to drive people back to our website. It's a tool to get your prospects and your customers to know, like, and trust you and to share your information. But the ultimate goal is to make sure that you're driving people back to your website. And so today, this morning, as I was going through my social media posts and I saw some great information, I saw there was so many opportunities, missed opportunities where people were posting and not using their social media to the maximum. So let's get into some of those 5 tips right now. So number 1, the first biggest mistake that people make when they're posting on their social media is they forget to put their web URL, a link back to their content or to their website. Because what you're posting on social media is really only one kind of element of what people need to know about your business. And when you drive them back to your website, they get to learn so much about you. Now, if you don't have a website, that's another mistake, but to really drive people back and include that URL. And so if you're watching today and you knew I was one of the people I was talking to this morning saying, where's your web URL? I want to see, the rest of your products. And then the person added it in the comments. But it's really important to use that, word area of your social media post to make sure that you're adding your web URL and reminding people to go back and learn more. So that's a big mistake. And so every post that you make should have a link or at least a hashtag to your business page. So number 2, the biggest mistake people make, second biggest mistake, is that they use graphics, which are great because if you use images in your social media posts, you'll get 93% more engagement. So that's really important. You want to use images that capture my attention because I'm scrolling and I've got thousands of connections and I'm following thousands of businesses. So how are you going to catch my attention? Well, you want to make sure that you have a really compelling image, and that's important. But the mistake that people make is if they do put a great image on, they litter it with wording. And it's so important for you to use the image to captivate my interest. And the image you use should help convey what you're trying to, the information you're trying to get across on your social media post. So for example, if you're a yoga instructor, you want to have a great yoga pose or something that's going to catch my interest. However, you don't want to have that image littered with sales messages. The one thing with Facebook and other social media is that, you want the images that are on your social media posts to be native, meaning that they look like they belong there. And people on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, we're looking for images. We're looking to see something that that captures our eye or the person we might know. And as soon as it looks like a sales message, we kind of disconnect from it. So, when you're posting, again, remove some of those wording that you put on there and really have a great image. So today, as I was scrolling through LinkedIn, somebody had a great testimonial. But instead of putting the wording of the testimonial from the happy customer into the sort of the word section of the social post, they put it all over the image that they had in the post. The problem is, A, it was too small for me to read, so I didn't even read the testimonial, although I knew it was a testimonial. And 2, I scrolled past it because it was too busy. Had they used an image of thumbs up, a great testimonial, or here's who we've helped, and then put the testimonial in the wording section of their post, it would have been so much more compelling and so much more valuable. And it would have caught the interest of more people to read because the wording would have been easier to read it instead of in the image. So that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is that a lot of people make all their posts about them. Every post I see is a sales post, and I get tired of that, and people get tired of that on social media. I want to get to know you as a business owner. I want to know, like, and trust you, and then I will use your services. So it's really important that you minimize the sales messages on social media, and that you make your posts more about your prospect and customer and less about your company. And you'll see that it'll pay off in tenfold because I get to know you. I get to understand the services that you offer. I get to see the people you help. And then I also get to understand more about you. And then when you make an offer to me to buy or use or opt into something that you are promoting, I, as a consumer, am more interested in doing that. So it's really important to make it less about your business and more about your prospect and customers. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So, we recommend that with our customers that we get 4 educational posts about your industry, your customer, a lot of successful people. For example, one of the customers that we work with sells camping products. So we don't always talk about the frying pans and the barbecues and things like that. We give our consumers recipes on how to make bread on a barbecue or to make better steaks. And when we put the URL in the post, we're linking them back to their website. And again, that's where the recipe is. We don't give away the recipe on social media. We might give away just a couple pieces of it, but we're driving them back to the website. And again, we're helping our prospects and customers learn more about cooking while camping, but also we're selling the camping lifestyle. We're helping and making it easier for people to use our products and services. And so it's really important with yoga. You could take your video camera and you could instruct people on a yoga pose so that they understand that yoga isn't that difficult, or that it, could be, quite good for stretching for them. But they need to understand that. With HVAC, Brian, you could use, a really good tip about how to, work with their ducting, or how to ensure that every area of their house gets really good, consistent heating or cooling. And when you find out what your customers' challenges are and you use your social media to your advantage, where you're really helping your consumer learn some different things, then they're more apt to, listen to your sales pitch when you add that sales promo on your 5th post. So that's mistake number 3. Mistake number 4 is that most people don't post enough. Social media obviously is trying to sell us on buying their advertising so that we advertise to our prospects and customers on the social media platforms. But there is a way to make sure that your customers do see your posts. First of all, if you go into the end of your analytics on your social media profiles, you can easily see where the peak times people are actually accessing your information. And then you want to post at those times. Really good, just general terms of good times to post on social media are 7:30, 8 in the morning, 8 o'clock, where people are getting up, preparing for work, they check their social media, noon to 1 o'clock when they're on their lunch hour and they've got some time. And then again, around 8:30 in the evening, 8:30 to 10 o'clock, you will see that a big portion of the community are on social media. So you want to capitalize and do your posts, there. And we encourage people to post 3 to 5 times a day, but not using exactly the same sort of subject line or title. You can use the same image, but you want to change the titling. You want to test the information that you're posting. And so that's a really important kind of strategy to use. And, we'll use Facebook for an example. If you have 100 people following you on Facebook, only 2% of the people actually see your post. So you want to make sure that you're posting several times throughout the day at your peak times so that more people can see it. And then again, you want to ensure that you're adding some, calls to action back to your website so that they can follow through. And then in your website, you'll see analytics to see, how effective your posts are in getting people back to your website. So that's mistake number 4. Mistake number 5 is that people don't use social media to lead people back into lead generation. You want people to, either opt into something so that they're signing up and subscribing to your email so that they get more information. You have to remember that all your social media connections and your social media profiles are not really yours. They belong to the social media platform. So at any time they can say, by the way, if you want to access your social media connections, it's going to cost. Or they can change the parameters around accessing your followers, just like Facebook has. So you want to make sure that the people you're connected with, that you'll always be connected with. And what better way into getting them to your website to subscribe to something using a lead generation. So again, in future videos, we'll talk about lead generation, but it is really important that you're getting people to opt in or sign in. So the one other thing I wanted to mention about mistake number 3, about not posting enough, one of the tools that we use is a software solution where we can post and schedule our posts multiple times through our social media profiles. And so there's some really good social media posting and scheduling tools that I'd like to share with you. And so if you're interested in these social media tools, just comment below in the comment box below and say, send me the list, and I'll send you that list of the social media solutions that you can use to schedule your posts often so that you're not having to do it manually. So the next mistake that we want to talk about is, let's see, a call to action. We really need to tell our people what to do after they've watched our social media posts. So we want them to learn more. We want them to share possibly. We want them to go back to our website. So adding a call to action to our posts are really going to be valuable for you, and you'll see a big difference in people taking action once you tell them, because people don't know what they don't know. They don't know that, hey, there's a list out there, send me the list. Or they never thought maybe to share this video with a friend who might really need to know more about social media. So when I asked people, I said, hey, if you think of somebody who might be able to benefit from this social media training, send it to them or share it with them or tag them. It's really important. So out of these mistakes that I've talked about, can you make a comment below if one of these you feel like you've really learned something that you could use in your social media? Is there one that stands out? Just tell me in the comments below. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, please don't hesitate to leave your questions in the comment box, because I come back after we've watched or launched the video, and I actually respond back to all the questions that happen that are posted in the video. So that's really important as well. If you have some questions right now and you're on live, don't hesitate to just add them in the comments. But, so those mistakes really make a difference in your social media engagement. And really, as entrepreneurs, we only have a limited amount of time every day to, get those posts out. And I, like you as an entrepreneur, have multiple profiles, and got to keep all my, engaged and connected with my people that I'm, talking with. And so those mistakes are really easy to make sure that you can, optimize your posts and make sure you're taking action. So Brian has a good question. He says, how much is too much to post? And, you'll gauge that from people, but, 5 times a day, Brian, is probably the max I would recommend. So for example, with you in HVAC, you post about about, like I said, about, one tip about how to get consistent temperature throughout your house, upper and lower floor. That's a really important question and a big challenge in most homeowners, and a discussion online that's really huge. So you post that, but you just change the title throughout the day. And if you're using some of the scheduling software that I'm going to send you later on, you'll see that, it's really easy just to change the title. So, you can change it to the top 3 tips on getting consistent temperature throughout your house. Number 1 mistake people make when they're installing an HVAC system that affects the temperature in their home, things like that. And so as you see, you're using the same paragraphs content, but the title changes, and you'll see that different titles capture people's interest differently. So that's a great question, and and again, you'll see that as you add different calls to action, right? At 7 in the morning, you may drive them to your website. At 12 in the afternoon, you may, in that post, you may encourage them to share with a friend who's talked about poor temperature control in their home. And as you start to use those, you'll see that really makes a difference in how your posts are reacted to, engaged, and shared. So a lot of people say to me, wow, I can't understand why I'm not getting a lot of engagement on my social media. And immediately when I look, one of those 5 mistakes usually is the culprit. Most times it's too much selling. That's the number 1 mistake that business owners make, is that they're selling too much on their social media. And it's all about know, like, and trust. And once you know me and you like me and you trust some of the content that I'm delivering, then and only then should I feel comfortable in delivering some sales messages. So that's really important. And you want to send people to different parts of your website when you're using your social media posts. So if you have a great blog content, you want to send them there. But if you're, maybe you have a great video of your course, or your sales team or your tech team, or doing something in a home, and you want to just highlight that, we use this in car dealerships across Canada, where we show car owners, just about maintenance or what a warranty can do, because this part of their vehicle broke down, and warranty would cover that, and they wouldn't have to pay that expense. So those are the 5 tips. I hope they brought you some value. If you liked what you heard today, please give a like down in the comments section below. And again, if you give me what industry you're from, I'll actually reply back and give you some suggestions, just 1 tip on what you can use to avoid these 5 mistakes right now that can maximize your social media posts. And know that we are on live every Friday at noon. So if you want to be alerted to when we are going live again, please just click the message button above, and Messenger will alert you about 15 minutes before we go live. If you have questions that you want answered on future business brand breakthrough videos, then drop them in the comments as well, and then I will make sure that I incorporate them and your business into the responses, so that you have some really good takeaways from the video. So thanks very much. My name is Dawn Larson from Navigator Marketing, and I hope you enjoyed today's live broadcast, and we hope to see you again next Friday at noon.